morning, friends, and welcome to today's episode of the Self-Improvement Project. I have so many thoughts circling around my head right now, and one that just came to mind was, I remember about 2 years ago when I was doing one of these episodes every day. I was going through the fun life experiment of deep work and mastery, which will all be quite nice to revisit now. So in around 2022, when I was writing and talking all about that. And now I sit down and I don't feel or think I've sat down in almost 3 weeks. So the difference in paths of life in the space of a year and a half or 2 years can be quite significant, and it just paints the picture of how much can change in such a short period of time. I hope you are well, and I've been having some wonderful insights from others around creativity, especially when your life is completely flipped on its head. Obviously, we've got the baby now, but for others and more relatable in other aspects are when you get a new job and all of your energy and time and focus goes into developing in that area. For creative outlets, that completely impacts upon that and how you approach it. The beautiful thing about creativity, though, is that there is no linear path. How I was creative in 2020 is different to how I am now. But that comes from so many different factors, including turning up and having the experience to do so. However, I hope that the message is the same. The consistency still resonates with you somewhat. I've been writing recently about living fully, and it might be something I continue to develop, but something I really enjoyed over 2024 was leaning into emerging themes. One that really stood out to me was doing things that make you feel alive. There was a lot of finding joy in things as well. And this is an example of one of those. Living fully, living a full life. I've obviously talked about lifestyle since day dot, but the idea around this and going through the layers is something that I'm excited to do a little bit. I would also, you can reply as simply as you like, but obviously I wrote a few ebooks 2020, 2021, maybe 2023, and I haven't since, but I obviously do a lot of writing on a Sunday, but I would love to know would an ebook about this be of interest to you? Should I delve in and make it more than just a Sunday thoughts email? I would love to hear your thoughts because it might be quite exciting to put together. So, living fully. What do I mean by living fully? For me in this moment right now, a full life is one that is busy, yet as simple as possible. It's one of those that I hope people would pass me by and hopefully think that he enjoys his life. However, he is doing things that matter to him. I think it's very easy to get lost in the idea that we want this simple, free life where we don't do anything. But that actually removes an essence of life. We need to discover through play, through experience, the things that matter to us, and then we just need to go and do those things as much as possible. It should be engaging yet effortless. One of the most impressive things in life is seeing effortless behaviour that looks so smooth, that looks so effective. Not just from being a skilled craftsman. It just comes from living. The more you live, the more you work out how to live, right? And living in an effective, simple, joyful manner is something that sounds like everyone should do, or can, or is doing. But I think you'd probably be surprised at how little people, or how few people, live that way. I think for me, this is where I would want to live this way for as long as possible. It's not about becoming immortal. That removes the value of life. But for as long as possible that you can work it out, live this way, live fully, you're not going to miss out on anything. That flow that you experience from 1 hour into the next, from the morning to the afternoon to the evening, from day to day, from week to week, from year to year, that flow is something that can allow you to enjoy the movie of life. Being able to juggle every aspect of life in a fulfilling way that's not too selfish. Striking the balance of what full means. Many of us are too selfless at times and need to be more selfish. Some of us are too selfish at times, and what we actually need to do is be more selfless to feel better about ourselves. I like the idea of, obviously I've been doing lots of sprints recently that I've messaged people about, but I like the idea of how quickly can you recover from that intensity and just section into another area of your life that matters to you. Living a high octane, living moments of intensity in areas of life that matter a lot to us. And then sometimes balancing that out with mixing different areas of your life that matter to you, but at a lower intensity. Being able to fill your life with all of these things in different ways that continue to make you feel engaged, that bring you so much joy that you could possibly pause and cry with joy if you were given the opportunity to. This is what being present should be. I actually sometimes think when I sit down and I think about being present, it's not as good as actually just sitting there and soaking up and basking in how great life can be. The most joy I get right now out of life is when I make our son laugh. But I only know that because in that moment I've paused to realise how happy that makes me, rather than stopping and thinking I should be present with our son to make sure that I'm making the most of it. No, that's not living a full life. Living a full life is when he laughs, I laugh. And we enjoy that together. And then I can look back and think, wow, that is what a full life means to me. Another big thing about living this full life is eliminating unnecessary complications. Now, I'm not saying that you're not going to have any problems, that's part of life. But when you have problems, how can you make sure that your life is still full? One that is engaging, effortless, but you're dealing with that unshakable confidence of, I know I have problems that I need to deal with, but I can deal with that. Alongside all the other great things in my life. Instead of avoiding problems, it's about managing them. It's about not letting them take over your life, but making sure that they're dealt with effectively. There's times where you need to focus on it, and then there's times to forget. Hopefully right now you're going through all of your thoughts and allowing them to be processed around, right, what does a full life mean to me? What do I need to do to live a full life? And I would probably suggest the best thing to do is to just simply pause and think about what makes you feel alive right now that's currently going on in your life. Is your job engaging you a lot? Do you have opportunities that excite you? Do you have an impending relationship that you're excited about at this moment and bask in that? Do you currently have both of those things and they're wonderful and you need to continue to simplify them to make sure that you're nurturing them and looking after them to make sure that your life is full in the long term? Finding those things that motivate you, that you're excited about, as well as looking after and caring for and nurturing the wonderful things that already exist in your life. That's the balance that you need to strike. That's what allows your life to feel fuller, but not disregarding things so that in a year's time you feel like you're starting over. The least ambitious goal that I've maybe ever said in my life would be that you're trying to create a routine of a full life. It's not about it being boring, it's about it being simple. It's about it not requiring too much thinking, but the thinking that you do is quality. It's not about these big moments in your life. It's not about all the big status things that people say that you should achieve in your life. This isn't a bucket list. This is about a whole life. This is about living one that you'll look back and you won't need to tell anybody how great it was, but you'll know. And like I said at the start, you want to spend as much of your time living in this way. Yes, there's always times where we're stuck or in a rut or when we're feeling like things aren't going our way or we have desires. But maybe we need to manage our expectations with what greatness looks like. 99% of us are going to live an ordinary life, but we don't want to waste that life by striving for things that we actually don't want. I'm going to close there today, guys. Let me know how you found that. Just a simple comment. Would you like me to put more together on that? Would you like me to delve into the depths of thoughts around that and create something that I could send out to you guys? Maybe a 2025 project? Maybe it just takes a few months. We'll see. Let me know. Even if I don't hear anything from anybody, I'll probably do it anyway, but I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. If you do want to write to me with any updates, I would love to hear from you as always. Otherwise, guys, have a cracking week, and I will see you all next time. Cheers.